Welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is episode 3 of our playthrough of Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes for the GameCube. Last time we infiltrated the tank hangar and we got on the elevator and we are going down to the armory.
Don't forget, Trey,
right
we rescued the DARPA chief.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, no wonder they call it Shadow Moses. I can barely see my hand in front of my face.
Yeah. So, inevitably, my capture card is like, hey, you like games? You want to watch them at, like, 20% darker?
You want to watch them? Well, too bad. No can do.
Did you bring your night vision goggles? No, I ain't Sam Fisher. Too bad.
It's the darkness from the Kingdom Hearts playthrough. You thought you were done with it.
No, we've only opened the door to darkness.
What kills me is when I played it, because I did a test playthrough before this, just to refamiliarize myself with the game, because it had been a couple of years since I played it. And it wasn't this dark, but as soon as I plug my capture card in, not only is it darker on my computer, it also displays darker on my TV.
You know what it is, Trey? You remember the part in MGS3 where you have to go through the cave in, like, total darkness? It's like that, but for the whole game.
Yeah.
Night vision goggles are mandatory.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see those later when I get the heat vision goggles. I make sure to go back for those later.
Nice.
Those are essential for the Sniper Wolf fight, in my opinion.
So do we know by this point that our next objective is to go and blow up the walls here with C4? Oh yeah, the DARPA chief told us, of course.
Yeah, he said that they painted over some segments on the walls, and there's more than just one segment that you need to, so there's like a lot of treasure down there. And we're gonna find that out. But first, like I said, I gotta go back for something.
Yeah.
There's a certain door that closes that I don't want to close before I grab the treasure.
Right.
So I'm going to attempt to go get it.
Yeah, there's a ooh, the chaff grenade. That's a rare strategy in the Twin Snakes where you can just shoot the cameras.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, as you saw in episode 1, I did not pick up the tranquilizer that has the silencer on it.
Oh, right, of course.
So I'm afraid of shooting the cameras because it'll alert the guards.
Yeah, isn't the SOCOM suppressor, like, I don't know if it's in this room, but it's on one of the little adjacent rooms to the tank hangar. So you're pretty close to it.
So, spoilers, I don't find the SOCOM suppressor until, like, the last episode.
Oh, damn. Well, they give it to you that late? It's just lying on the ground on top of, like, Metal Gear Rex next to Liquid.
I mean, it felt like that.
Take this,
Liquid
brother!
just kind of looks at you, just like, here, take this.
It's like, I could have used this ages ago!
I can't believe you made it this far without it. I almost feel sorry for you.
In the Middle East, we don't use silencers. We use 20-ounce cans of Dr. Pepper.
Interesting.
That's our Liquid.
They call them Liquid for a reason.
That's not actually something they do at all in the Middle East. Liquid is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, quadra demonstrandum when we get to him. Yeah, I think one of the critical elements that makes, like, the stealth in Metal Gear fun is oddly, like, the collection and, like, exploration aspect of these games. Because if you're just trying to get from point A to B in a lot of these rooms, it's not that hard. But if you're trying to go around and, like, meticulously explore and collect everything, you're really, like, increasing your chances of getting spotted. That was one of the things I had to realize when I was doing my MGS3 European Extreme run, is, like, you don't need everything. Like, you can barely carry the stuff that you find, so, like, don't waste a bunch of time trying to, like...
So... I forgot about the holes.
That's the original Metal Gear experience.
Yeah, when you tripped that earlier, I was hoping that you would fall for it.
You just walk into a room and fall dead.
Like, what kills me is, like, once you can see them about to fall while you're walking over them. So, like, you can remember where they are because you see them fall behind you. But I'm dumb.
Why Are trapdoors even like a thing here?
Security, I guess?
I think
Where do they lead
Ocelot
to?
set those up.
Is there like a Mortal Kombat pit underneath them?
They just lead to the floor below.
Third floor basement.
They drop directly into the prison cells.
Oh, jeez. Actually, now
It's
that I
like
think
in
about
a-
it, isn't the prison cell on the first floor of the tank hangar? Or the first basement
I
floor?
think so. Yeah, we skipped that floor. Well, we went there.
It's a long fall.
Yeah, we're in like the basement.
And what do you know?
It'd be funny
Our
if-
radar's jammed. We...
Yeah. They never explain how they do that. They're just like, they're using jamming.
Maybe it's like in Spaceballs. They just fire a big, like, raspberry jam at your Soliton radar. Or whatever is, like, generating the signal.
Strawberry. Only Ocelot would use this. Now that's a movie I would want to see.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why Snake does it.
Snake balls.
Yes.
It's just about snakes who live in giant, like, glass domes in outer space.
I'd watch it.
You would, wouldn't you?
Would.
Oh yeah. Have we told the people that you have an infatuation with snakes?
They're just like living noodles.
And they're lizards. What's not to love?
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically. Don't let your herpetologist friends hear that.
Oh, they're reptiles, not lizards.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But if they had legs, they'd be lizards.
I always thought that pacing-wise it was weird that, like, you meet the DARPA chief, or at the beginning of the game you're tasked with rescuing the DARPA chief and the arms tech president, and then you meet the DARPA chief almost immediately, and then immediately afterward you meet the arms tech president. It's like, well, we still have, like 8 hours of game left to go.
Well, I think that's to show you just how like deep Snake has to go to solve this problem.
Yeah, there was a lot more to this story than he was told.
Because, like, spoilers, there is a mole in Snake's support group, probably feeding information to Liquid's posse.
It's Monty. Monty Mole.
Does anybody
It's,
else think that
Rossetti.
Kenneth Baker looks like really creepy in this version of the game?
He looks like he can't open his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, he just looks like constantly... He's like Brock from Pokemon.
Well, I think if the color grading was a little more clear here, we could see that they gave him like bloodshot eyes.
Nice backflip, Snake.
Oh, because they just, like, beat the crap out of him?
Yeah. Mr. President Baker here is not in a very good way after what this gentleman did to him.
Oh, enter one of the best characters of all time.
The
This
mastermind of the entire Metal Gear series, pretty much.
Yeah. The retconned mastermind of Metal Gear.
I guess. Yeah, Ocelot's role in like every game he appears in, apart from MGS5, which I haven't played yet and can't really speak for, is just to like assist the main villain and then like, I don't know. I don't want to say like
And then
betray.
have a phone call after the credits.
Yeah. He did it.
I told you.
Oh my god.
That's a callback from our Kingdom Hearts playthrough when we fought Hades.
Welcome to the Ocelot Cup, round Ocelot.
Yes. There's only one round.
God. Well, I thought he had
So,
6
I like-
rounds, more than enough to kill anything that moves.
Oh, you're almost stepping on his line because he's about to say it. That's what I love about this character. He is the most extra villain you fight in this outside of Liquid.
See, if this was the original Metal Gear Solid, he would have said it already, because Twin Snakes thought it would be a good idea to just add, like, prolonged moments of silence in between every line. And then tell the actors to say all their lines really slowly, compared to the original,
Gotta get that runtime up.
I guess.
I love the look he gave him there because he's like, oh, this is weird, but you know what? Fuck it.
Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver.
It's because I have a revolver.
That's it.
That's why Foxhound hired him. They're like,
Can you? No, it's because he can like secretly rotate his like the upper half of his body. He's a cyborg. It's not the strangest thing in this series.
well, yeah. So this boss fight.
Or you're gonna actually try and take him on legit,
I try.
quote unquote.
I try for like a solid 30 seconds.
Trey, have you discovered the secret trick that's actually a critical gameplay mechanic in the original Metal Gear Solid, where you can run while aiming your gun?
I don't know if I figured that out in this one.
Yeah, in MGS1,
you
if you hold X while aiming, you can move.
So, I'm not gonna get big boss rank because I
You
saved
fell down
a
a
lot
trap
already.
door like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I don't have a trank gun yet because I don't know where to find it.
Yeah, in keeping with the enhancements made in MGS2, Twin Snakes has 2 health bars for every boss. One of which depletes life, and the other of which depletes stamina. And if you shoot him with a lethal weapon, it takes life. You shoot him with a non-lethal, like the tranquilizer, it takes stamina. And if you get through the whole game without killing anybody, the game gives you a little pat on the back. It's like, you're a big boss now. Good job.
You're the boss.
This is such a lame battle seeing it like this. Just 2 grown men running circles around the room,
Yeah.
just chasing each other.
Poor Ken Baker is just like, all right,
I'm
this is
too old
happening.
for this. So are we.
Yeah, Snake's the youngest man here.
I can't tell where they put the ammo refills in this fight. Looks like you probably won't need one, but in the PS1 version they put them like right next to the trip wires. So I can't tell you how many times the first time I played the game I blew up President Baker because I needed to get more ammo and I accidentally got too close to the wires.
I like that you have to keep him alive. And then immediately the game, well, spoilers, gets rid of him. Immediately, like right after this fight.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of a bastard too. Like, why do we have to rescue this man? He's a freaking war profiteer.
Yeah.
Because the government told us to.
Yeah. Snake's just like, I love being a pawn. Ah, Metal Gear.
Ah.
Oh God. He's actually putting the hurt on me. I forgot about this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a more accurate representation of like how the PS1 boss fight goes, because like I've seen people beat Ocelot here in like 5 seconds just by like stun locking him with the first person aiming.
Yeah. I'm not that good.
Well, I mean, Metal Gear has kind of a tricky control scheme to get back into if you've been away from it for a while.
Yeah,
Like
this
it's not really built for action and combat so much as it is to like make you feel like you're sneaking around. Like
It's
the
kind of
controls
a-
are kind of, I would kind of liken it to how the old Resident Evil games have kind of like wonky controls. Not that it's like the same kind of wonky, but there is kind of a, you do kind of have to learn the controls in these games to be able to like sneak around effectively. Whereas, you know, similar action games have a more like accessible control scheme because they're not wanting you to focus on like carefully tiptoeing around and trying not to be seen, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I feel like... Oh, wow. That's the wrong tool tray. I feel like this is one of those games where, like, they could have given you a better control scheme. Like, they did remake this game, but they're still like, nah, the clunkiness is part of it.
Yeah, the Metal Gear
part of the
series was kind of reluctant to like in a lot of ways these games are very cutting edge, but also
Nice.
In the case of the first 3 there are a lot of ways in which they're kind of like old school. Like for as much detail and impressive technology they introduced in Metal Gear Solid 2, you know, it's still a game that takes place from like fixed camera angles entirely, and where you can't move while aiming in first person. And even Snake Eater had the fixed camera angles until they re-released it like a year or 2 later. Specifically
Oh, yeah.
because everybody hated the fact that the camera angles were fixed.
Oh yeah, this is where Ocelot loses his arm.
I know Ocelot is like an evil bastard and all, but like I always feel bad for him here because it's like when if you're like a pianist and you break your hand, it's like there goes your whole livelihood.
Yeah.
Nothing in this world gave Ocelot more joy than shooting people, and now he can't do that anymore.
I mean, did you see the environment he was raised in? Friggin' his boss for like a solid like 10 years was Volgan.
That's true.
Oh yeah, this is where we meet the Cyber Ninja.
Now, Gray Fox, I think, is one of the, at least in terms of the animation and the way the cutscenes are choreographed, I think he's one of the characters that benefited the most from the Twin Snakes remake.
Because he's actually supposed to be like an action movie ninja.
Yeah, like an agile acrobat, you know. Whereas when Snake starts flipping around, it's like, I don't buy this.
We're gonna see that soon too.
Oh dear God.
That, you know what? That's part of the charm of Twin Snakes.
Is it just nobody had any restraint? Hey, that was a straight up Terminator ripoff.
But his name's Dave.
Also, Gray Fox doesn't sound like the DARPA chief in the remake because they got Rob Paulson to voice him.
Oh yeah, the Rob Paulson.
The Rob Paulson, yes.
Which one is he? Is he Pinky or Brain?
Pinky, I believe.
So just
And
imagine.
Yakka Warner.
Oh yeah. So just imagine a giant white rat in an exoskeleton.
Instead of Gray Fox, it's White Rat. The cyborg ninja.
What are we gonna do today, Snake?
The same
Try to
thing
take
we
down
do
Metal
every day, Gray Fox. Try to kill each other.
I love that that's like their friendship. Like, yeah, like remember that time that I rescued you in Africa? That was cool, but also we gotta kill each other.
Interesting way to represent that. Oh my God.
Remember, The Matrix was like 4 years ago at this point.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't this come out like kind of near the Matrix?
Yeah, someone was feeling inspired.
He's got a helmet on. He'll be fine. Gray Fox, take him out. Coward.
This is the point where
okay, that's
Snake's
enough
like,
fighting for now.
I've had enough shit today.
I love that his sword can cut through like solid steel.
Well, it probably has nanomachines and parasites inside it that allow it to do so.
It's a high frequency blade,
Yeah.
like in Metal Gear Rising.
Oh yeah, it's they have vibro blades in what is that? Knights of the Old Republic.
Is that why you can like whack people with it non-lethally without cutting them in half? In MGS2?
Yes, actually.
Cool.
Oh yeah, get ready for a really long cutscene. They're gonna talk about Muff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Get ready for lots of stock footage.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when I first played this game, I wasn't used to games that had like lots of voice acting and cutscenes in them. So like I was actually kind of impressed by the fact that it had like live footage in it.
I'm surprised they fit all that on a GameCube disc, much less the PS1 disc.
Well, that's the funny thing about this re-release is that, you know, on the PS1, Metal Gear Solid was 2 discs because, you know, it was on CDs, and obviously they don't have as much storage space as our modern media formats do. But, like, then they ported it to the GameCube, and the technology was pretty much improved across the board, but, like, it's still a 2-disc game. And in fact, in the Twin Snakes, the part where you have to insert the second disc is like a lot sooner than it is on the PS1
Oh
for
yeah.
whatever reason.
I wonder if it's because like the file sizes of like the audio were bigger or
Probably.
something. Because there's extras in this, but there's not that many extras as there was in the first Metal Gear.
Right. Yeah, they took out all the VR missions, didn't they?
Yeah.
Bummer. Although, if I'm being perfectly honest, I've never really sunk my teeth into the VR missions of MGS 1 or 2.
Aren't there like hundreds of them?
Mm-hmm. Turns out these levels are a lot easier to design when they're just made out of, like, wireframe cubes and whatnot. Instead of making every little, like, wine bottle have, like, a shattering animation.
God, you just reminded me. I've been watching a playthrough of the new The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah?
And that game is super pretty. Like, almost photorealistic. So I'm like, man, there must have been, like, years of development time on just, like, one level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't imagine the amount of design that has to go into a modern game, much less something like this. Like,
well, to be honest, I've been playing a lot of Metal Gear, like I said, in preparation for this commentary. And I remember when I got to MGS4 being kind of like... This is going to sound really stupid, but I had kind of a hard time in that game, like, just visually parsing everything. Because in all the previous games, like, items, for example, are these very clearly delineated, like, giant, rotating, floating boxes. Like, they're very... You know just at a glance what is in the box when you look at it. But in MGS4, obviously because it's a PS3 game and they wanted to make it way more realistic, they just made everything into, like, these tiny little indistinguishable... Like, a lot of times I'll pick up an item in MGS4 without even realizing that I walked over it, because everything is just so, like, much more dense and detailed in that game. And I don't know, I think that kind of begs the question of, like, at what point do you draw the line between, like, visual fidelity and visual clarity?
it wasn't Kojima's staff trying to, like, make that game more realistic and, like, look and behave more like a modern video game rather than a game that, like, acts like a PS1 game but looks like a PS4 game or PS3 game?
I mean, I'd say so just by looking at it. Like, that's the general design ethos I get from 4.
I wonder if that's because they were, like, they had all this Sony money, so they're like, all right, we got to make this legit, because this is going to be a launch window game.
Well, to be honest, like, I played Peace Walker for the first time immediately after 4, and, like, I honestly think that game was an improvement on 4 because of the restrictions of it being on the PSP, because now that, like, everything has to be made for a small screen where everything's, like, has to be, like, more visually clear and everything, you can tell what's going on again. Because we brought back our nice big cartoony item boxes, and, like, there's not, like, a million soldiers and little, like, details in every level to, like, disrupt the clarity of what's happening.
So,
And that might just be me, like, being bad at action games, but, like, I don't know.
so they just missed the part where you gotta look at the back of the package of the game to get Meryl's codec. I thought that was pretty creative.
Oh, yeah, that was a real novelty at the time. That was actually lifted from Metal Gear 2, wasn't it?
Yes.
I love that they kept it, because, like, on the back of the box that I bought when I got this game, that same code is there. Like, that has to be mandatory.
Well, I was gonna say,
Like,
God help you if you buy this game off of, like, the PS3 online, and you don't have a case. I mean, we live in the age of the internet. It's it's not rocket science to figure out what Meryl's code is, but
I mean, I think that was like an anti-piracy thing.
oh, really?
Yeah, at least for the original game, like for Metal Gear 2. Yeah, Metal Gear 2. I think it was like a really old form of anti-piracy to make sure that you had, like, the game box.
There used to be these little dials that would come with video games. I'm showing my age.
Before there was pre-launch Xbox One, there was Metal Gear 2.
Yeah. there are these little codes, these little code dials that every time you reinstalled the game, it would ask you to finish the code, and you'd have to like manipulate this little like radial code generator that comes with your game, and it would generate like the last 4 digits of the code that they give you. And that's how they did the anti-piracy codes back in the day. So that, like you said, that's just a continuation of that.
Material unaccounted for. So like the plutonium that Doc Brown stole in Back to the Future? I choose to believe that Doc Brown occupies the Metal Gear universe.
I mean, there are vampires and people with psychic abilities.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's not the most far-fetched thing in Metal Gear.
Like, time travel is not far... Yeah, it's not a stretch to add time travel. That's what I want. I want Metal Gear Rising Revengeance 2 to be about Raiden going back in time to prevent, like, a crazy disaster, and he has to play through all the games again.
Raiden goes back to the Flintstones.
Too far! Too far!
I'll stop man from ever existing, so they'll never have created nukes.
It's like Silver's story in Sonic 06, but he's going back in time to like murder Fred Flintstone. Actually, oh my god, mega coincidence, because in the modern games, Quentin Flynn versus Silver in the English dub.
Oh yeah.
One of the few salvageable things about the story in Sonic Forces.
Does he in 6 forward or starting in like a different game?
Ever since the 4Kids cast got replaced, he's voiced Silver.
Okay. Oh,
That line was changed. He instead of talking about the military-industrial complex, he was talking about like, oh, it's just good business, or like a. I think his exact words were, "Call it a modest gentleman's agreement."
This is what you came for, right?
Oh yeah, this is a really important part of the game that I didn't understand was so important until you beat it.
Right. Well, that little disc is the reason why the Metal Gear series continues after this game.
Yeah. So Snake unknowingly, well, we'll see it later. That disc changes hands and totally changes, like you said, changes the course of history.
You see, Snake, if you had just blown up President Baker with the CI, you could have prevented all of the future suffering.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess he still would have like turned into an old man in like a year, but
It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
you know, all that other stuff would have been prevented anyway.
Can you walk? No. You go on without me.
They got my password.
They don't want anything.
Oh yeah. I know
question.
we saw the DARPA chief talk about the passwords, but he was kind of cagey with it.
Ninja?
We're gonna find out why later. But like, the passwords mean nothing if you don't have the key cards that he gives you.
Right. Yeah, that was a good little. I'm kind of excited to talk about that little plot point because that's one of the more clever and daring aspects of this game's story, I think.
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better.
I love this guy's performance here.
You've got to
Like, he just sounds like he is gargling just
my company now.
Oh no!
max
Your
volume.
company?
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
They do.
Metal Gear itself does, but
Uh-oh. We've entered the Baja Blast zone.
This is so cheesy. I love this.
This looks like found foot, like the Poltergeist show.
One of those like ghost
Footage.
hunting shows.
Yeah, like ghost hunting shows.
Yeah,
where they've
we
got,
already
like,
have the night vision goggles.
they actually went and did it.
It's paranormal activity Metal Gear.
Baker gets baked.
They're just using you.
I love this. He starts whacking Snake.
Oh, I know he already did that.
Oh yeah, we missed it.
Yeah, we.
I just like the image of when a hero comes to save the day, just an old man just starts berating him and beating the shit out of him. Like, I'm here to help.
Some of these
Came to
shots
save
with
Cranky
Baker's
Kong.
face, he just looks like Michael Myers because like you can't really make out his eyes.
Colonel, are you listening?
He, like even the DARPA chief had like more discernible eyes than Baker did.
Lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but
Is it because Baker's fat?
well, there are lots of drugs
Poison.
that cause a heart attack in large
How did he get poisoned just while talking to you?
calcium chloride or digoxin. But we won't be able
Come
to
on,
tell
Snake,
you.
use your
Poisoned him when
brain.
Snake, I want you and Meryl to
Well, like, okay, so a little spoilers for later.
more than you can
Like, Snake kind of objects to Naomi giving him injections in the
Briefing.
Snake is an
briefings.
anti-vaxxer.
That's what
You would, Snake. You
what-
would.
Probably impossible.
that's why he lives in Alaska. He's like, I can't get sick if I don't encounter people.
Naomi, this thing's not gonna give me autism, is it? No, Snake, that's not how it works. All right,
Seems like
just
another
checking,
conspiracy
you
to
know,
me.
to be sure.
This man who's been basically raised by the military starts believing this shit.
Well, I mean, let's be fair here. His old man still believes in Santa Claus.
That's true.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
think,
What do you mean? What do you
Snake
mean by
is a
that?
flat earther?
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area.
Oh yeah, Santa's real. Yeah, he delivers presents.
Yeah, they
every
got it
year.
on
Track him
NORAD.
on NORAD.
Anyway, be careful.
Yeah, we gotta respect the beliefs of our viewers of this M-rated video game. Who still
Santa is
Yeah,
real.
if you're under 18, don't watch this. Go home. Go to bed. Go read a manga.
Manga
Go home
gear.
and be a family man.
go read a manga with your fellow kids.
Well, we've defeated Ocelot. He got his arm chopped off by a ninja. And next time, we got to go back up to the tank hangar.
Oh
See you then.
joy.
See ya.